What's going on, guys? Khalipa's Tech here, coming back at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips to help you take better pictures with the Umidigi A11. But before we go any further, I do want to ask you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. That being said, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to show you is 2 fast ways to open your camera besides the obvious of just clicking the camera app. So the first one is by double tapping the power key like this, and it's going to open up after it asks you this. If you just wanted to open the regular camera, you can just hit camera and always, and it's not going to do this again. The other thing you can do is put 3 fingers on the screen and swipe up, and that's going to open the camera too. Real cool feature. But before you do this, you're going to want to double check to make sure it's actually activated, and to do that, you're going to go to Settings, Smart Assistant, Gesture Control, and make sure 3-finger into the camera is activated. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to turn on your macro camera. So you might be in a situation where you want to take a really close-up image, and the macro camera is perfect for this. And not only that, but this phone's macro camera is actually really good. So to do this, you're going to hit this button right here, and that's going to activate the macro camera. Once you have the macro camera on, of course, you're going to want to make sure you're close enough to get a good image. So for example, there we go. It's nice and focused, so you get the picture. The next thing I want to show you is how to use the ultrawide camera. This is basically the opposite of the macro camera. This is going to zoom the image out so you can have a wider frame. So to do this, you're going to hit this button right here, and that is going to turn on the ultrawide camera, and now you can get those wide angle photos to capture a larger scene. Another really popular feature on any phone's camera is portrait mode. To get to portrait mode, simply just hit this right here, and you're going to be in portrait mode. And be sure that your subject, when you're using portrait mode, is within the proper distance, otherwise the image might not show up very well. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change the aspect ratio of a photo. By default, pretty much every phone's camera is at 4:3, but maybe you're posting for Instagram and want a square picture, or you're posting a YouTube thumbnail or something like that, and you want a 16:9. I'm going to show you how to get these options. So you're going to go to the settings up here and hit picture size, and you'll be able to choose between all these different aspect ratios. Now by default, when you take a picture with this phone, there is a watermark, and that can be kind of annoying, especially if you're trying to use the pictures for anything more professional. But luckily, getting rid of this watermark is pretty easy. All you need to do is go to Settings and hit Watermark, and just simply turn it off. The next thing I'm going to go over is something for video mode. Now when you're taking a video, it might be a little tough when you're panning the camera to keep it completely perfectly still. So there is something we can do to help out with this. You can go to the settings and turn on anti-shake, and it's going to be a lot better. This next thing is for if you're trying to take a picture at a more difficult angle and you can't comfortably reach the shutter button without risking dropping your phone. So this is what's called touch capture. So we're going to go once again to the settings menu and activate touch capture. With this feature on, all you need to do to get a picture is touch the screen. This is really nice if you're holding your phone at an angle or only have one hand free. Maybe you're taking a selfie or something. So for example, if you're holding the phone like this, makes it so much easier to get a picture without having to risk holding your phone at an awkward angle where you could easily drop it. Next, I'm going to show you how to turn on the grid lines on your frame. This can be really useful if you're trying to frame something directly in the middle or off to a certain side. Whatever you're doing, it can be really useful when you're trying to line up an image. So what you're going to do is go to Settings, hit Grid Line, and now once you go back to the main screen, there's going to be a grid that's going to help you line up objects in your picture a lot better. Once you want to turn it off, same thing, go back to Settings and turn off Grid Line. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to control the flash. So the flash is up here in the top left corner. To open the settings, just hit this icon, and now you're gonna have the choice between no flash, auto flash, and regular flash. Auto flash is basically gonna use the flash more sparingly just based on the environment. So if you're in low lighting, the flash is gonna come on by itself, and if you're not, then it's not gonna go off. With full flash, of course, the flash is gonna go off no matter what every time you take a picture. The last thing I'm gonna show you is how to use the timer. The timer is a really useful feature, especially if you're trying to take a picture by yourself in a more hands-free way. This is a good way to do it. So we're gonna go to settings and hit timer right here. And you're gonna be able to choose between 2 seconds and 10 seconds. I honestly don't even think 2 seconds is useful for anything. I don't know exactly what that's even for, but 10 seconds is the perfect amount of time to set your phone on a tripod and get into the frame to take a photo of yourself. Maybe you're doing a group photo, something like that. It's really useful when it's used in that way. But these were my camera tips and tricks for the Umidigi A11. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you want to learn more about the phone itself, be sure to check out my full review of it on the channel. And if you happen to be watching this video after you recently bought the phone, definitely check out my beginner's guide as well as my tips and tricks video for this phone as well, where I go over lots of different features of the phone that you're going to want to know about when you get it for the first time. But that's it for today. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.